Hello, I'm Rujuta, and I'm going to talk about the second stint in life for the older women. So things are a little different now for new generations, but I'm talking about the Gen X and the older millennial, that is birth year of 1960 to 1985. Many of us got married in by late 20s, and then we had children soon after. And last couple of decades we have spent in job and career and family and parenting. But now many of the children are grown up or are going to be grown up, and our day-to-day caregiver responsibilities are winding down. So we find ourselves with a lot of time on hand and wealth of life experience, and the question, what next? So when we started working, there was a lot of pressure that the job met the family requirement. So that might mean work from home even before COVID, or that might mean breaks after the kids, or that might mean switching to roles that met the family needs rather than the ambitions. Um, and this shows in the data the full-time salaried jobs of women after 35. That is quite a low percentage. And we mostly made our peace with it, but sometimes we feel behind the male counterparts or the friends who never took breaks. Society measures a person's worth in terms of income or tangible assets, and men get an advantage out of this. They get a boost in confidence by being the provider, whereas women, a lot of times, the time spent in caregiving or maintaining the home, that work is largely invisible or undervalued. And a lot of times women internalize that undervaluation, and that leads to reduced confidence and risk avoidance. Okay, so we are now at a life stage where we can explore new avenues. I like to say this about my friends: we are battle hardened people. There is no more that pressure of in laws or settling into a new family, and we don't have timeline pressure. It's not like you have to select a new your college or you have to produce a child. There is no more pressure of that kind. We know what we like and what we don't like. And you might say, Rujuta, I have just, I have been very busy. Let me just be at peace. But hear me out. Some of us have at least 40 years in front of us. So here is the thing that we need about our second stint. We need to find something that fits our soul. So the first stint that we had, it was mostly managing others' expectations and doing the sensible thing, but now we need to find something that we like. It could be a joy of creation, doing something creative. It could be some kind of adventurous hobby. It could be nurturing something. But we have only few decades left. We need to make them count for ourselves. Also, we need to take into account our current reality of life, so we know how is our life set, how are we going to be living in next few decades. Take that into account. Take into account, do you like work from home and the flexibility that brings, or do you like an office kind of setup? A lot of people like the social aspect of going to some place of that kind. So figure that out. So, shift from learning to doing. A lot of time, our formal education systems reduce the joy of learning. A lot of our education was invented by the colonial powers to produce clerks, right? On the other hand, actually working on something, a project can give you a sense of achievement, a little thrill and creativity. So maybe if you like, for example, painting, actually go and paint paint the balcony grills or paint the walls. Or if you like fashion, stitch and design a dress. All of those things can actually give you a real accomplishment and can contribute a lot of creativity to your life. Okay, another thing that I want to us to explore is um, physical or manual work. Now, a lot of us have been brought up with the notion that actual physical work that women will do will be limited to the kitchen and the house, and it will take a little bit of courage to break out of that mold. But actually, physically doing something will give us a kind of sense of adventure and accomplishment. So let me give you some example. Okay, let's say that you have hosted a lot of parties and you know really what kind of unique serving dish will look good on a dining table. Suppose you join a glass blowing workshop and create that unique piece. Or, for example, let's say that you are redecorating your house. Okay, you actually work along and you do woodworking and create that statement front door. A thing like this will merge the perspective as a consumer and as a creator and will give a competitive advantage. The next thing that I want us to keep in mind is include income generation. So money matters. And if some pursuit of yours gives a tangible financial return, it will give you a lot of motivation. Even if you start small, if the pursuit can pay for itself, you will be likely to sustain it. And if you can make it profitable, that will boost your confidence. To conclude, this second stint is going to be a rediscovery. And there are few things that we need to keep in mind. Number one, it is okay to feel hesitant or stressed over it. It is part of starting a new role. Second is, rather than taking theory classes, start doing it. Third thing, if there is something that you can physically do, go for it. It's okay not to follow a conventional path anymore because this is part of rediscovery. At some point in time, whatever you are pursuing, try and see if income generation can be part of it. Thank you.